Hey everybody, welcome into our NBA TV studios. It's game time. I'm Kristen Ledlow, alongside our 3D, Dennis Scott. Summer is hot. Summer League is hotter. But the hottest, easily, Liz Cambage of the WNBA. And we've got it all right here in 30 minutes flat.
Let's do it.
History was made Tuesday in the WNBA. Liz Cambage said, I've had big numbers in China. I've had big numbers in Australia. And I've heard a lot of people say I could never have big numbers here in the WNBA. So I guess this game is for y'all.
No question about it. Both ends of the floor, blocking shots. Get that shot out of here.
I mean, it wasn't just offensively. She was getting it done on both ends of the floor, DZ.
And that's what made it sweet. When you block shots, you know your teammates know you have it going. They start feeding you. And then wait a minute, she stepped back for a money ball. Splash.
Should we call it the Cambage Clinic?
I love it because she was giving it to him.
She finished the first half with 28 points. That was the highest scoring half in her career. And not at all surprisingly, it would continue in the third quarter. That, though, was Skylar Diggins-Smith with 9 points and 7 assists. Tina Charles with a putback layup here in the third.
The veteran still getting it done as well.
Cambage, though, blocking the vet this time.
A good defense right there. Give me that.
Dallas still leading the way, then Kia Vaughn to Shavante Zealous for the layup to take the lead. Liberty then up by 1, but Cambage balling out the rest of the game.
Oh, come on. You have to know she's feeling a deep money ball.
Well, at that point, it was her career high 41 points, but it would continue. That then would be the most by a WNBA player this season with 43. But she finished with 53, her 9th double-double of the season, as she grabbed 10 rebounds as well. I mean,
unbelievable.
Come on.
Unbelievable.
Dallas goes on to win at 104-87. So Cambage scored a WNBA record 53 points on 17 of 22 from the field, with 10 rebounds and 5 blocks in the Wings' first home win over the Liberty since 2016. Now, the only NBA players in the last 30 years to score 50-plus on 22 or fewer field goals were Willie Burton in '94 and Kevin Martin in '09.
Wow.
So we are very excited to welcome Liz to the show on her historic night. Liz, at what point did you know that your night was going to be a special one?
I think when I hit around 40 points, I didn't really realize how many points I had at halftime. I'm not the type of player to look up at the scoreboard only to see, what our team line is and not what our stats are. But yeah, I had no idea that I had hit the record until I got subbed off, and yeah, it was pretty crazy.
You sound like you're still pretty surprised about it. But you did say that this game was for those who said you couldn't put up numbers like this in the WNBA. Where is that confidence stemming from?
I haven't been in the WNBA for, I think it's for 4 years. I haven't been over here. I came over pretty young. I was drafted when I was 19 and had my first season in 2011. And, I didn't enjoy it too much. And I stuck to playing basketball in China and back home in Australia. But, I think people saw that was as a weakness for me, that I never came here to play. But, yeah, I heard the birds on the line, and, you always hear whispers of what people say and how people think. And, for all those people who thought I could never do it, I guess I showed them today.
Yes, you did.
Well, Liz, yes, you definitely quieted all those haters, as we say. So my question for you, did you change your routine or anything different that you would normally do before the game?
No, I've had a bit of an emotional week last week. I had an ejection and been struggling with flagrant fouls and technicals, and my relationship with the referees hasn't been too great the past couple of weeks. But I went into this game today trying to be as zen and just worry about myself and not worry about anyone else on the court tonight. And I think maybe I need to keep doing that because it went well for me.
That it did. And for the first time in 7 seasons, you're heading back to the All-Star game. What does it mean to you to play alongside the league's best?
It's an honor. It's pretty special, that it's based on fan votes and, comes down to, what the other coaches and other athletes vote as well. So it means a lot. It's a bit of respect to me, and I'm really happy to be headed to my second All-Star weekend.
Any idea who may draft you? Elena? Candace?
Candace did DM me today saying, "Girl, you are on my team."
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Nice. I don't know who has first pick or how it goes, but I was a bit nervous. It kind of takes me back to high school. Am I cool enough to be, picked in the, in the first bit of it, or will I be get left along the wall? But, it will be a fun weekend no matter what. So.
Well, you may want to keep your DMs open because Elena might be shooting you one at some point throughout the evening. Again, congratulations on your historic night. Liz, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We do have news and notes from in and around the NBA. But before we get to that, I want to know what you felt like. You knew you had the hot hand like that.
Well, it's one of those things, Kristen, it's hard to explain after you make 4 or 5 shots in a row. But the reason I asked that question, because sometimes we may be going through something personal. And she was very transparent with the referees not going through great things as of late. But she let that go, and everything seemed to flow for her. So good for her.
Well, Lakers guard Lonzo Ball did have successful arthroscopic surgery to his left knee on Tuesday. But fear not, Lakers fans, he is expected to make a full recovery by the start of the 2018-19 training camp. Meanwhile, Warriors point guard Stephen Curry will not attend Team USA's camp next week in Las Vegas, according to ESPN. The two-time NBA MVP, according to sources, will be spending time with his family.
Yeah, he needs some rest.
Including his newborn
son.
Popeye,
want to build a baby. I'm not mad at you, Popeye.
Also from ESPN, Spurs star Kawhi Leonard is seriously considering participation in the minicamp next week.
Ooh.
An opportunity for the All-NBA forward.
Does that mean he's healthy now,
well,
maybe? The leg feels better?
Case, perhaps the status of his recovery.
Okay, all right, I like it.
Well, after the break, we're going to look back on the Summer League season that was with an MVP that's all heart. Do you get it?
Oh,
yeah.
I
know.
Like that.
I know.
This summer.
The NBA Summer League in Las Vegas began tournament play with all 30 teams for the first time. And it came down to these two. The top-seeded Lakers and the MVP, Josh Hart, taking on the second-seeded Blazers in what was a rematch of last year's championship game.
Yeah, rematch, and two teams got off to a pretty good start, shall we say.
The Blazers, though, controlling this game on both ends of the floor from start to finish. It was KJ McDaniels.
Aggressive, little cookies right there, and KJ said,
Exactly. Gary Trent Jr. with the steal. Then he gets paid back from KJ for the slam. That was part of a 10-0 Blazers run. Simons for three, putting Portland up 49-31. The Lakers, though, showing a little bit of life before the half. Jonathan Williams coast to coast for the slam. Portland still leading the way 50-33 at the half. Magic Johnson courtside with Brandon Ingram, and the new Laker, Lance Stephenson.
Lance is going to be dancing in L.A.
I'm so happy. The Blazers, though, continuing to dominate. Gary Trent Jr. yet again, that time with the mid-range jumper. Archie Goodwin for the one-handed slam.
He's been having a solid summer, another one of those Summer League vets.
Goodwin yet again. This time the drive and the dish to McDaniels.
Ooh. Again, you're showing those hops.
That would put Portland up by 20, and it would continue. McDaniels, yet again, this time the drive, the finish, and the one-handed slam.
That's one thing he can do, Kristen, in case you don't know people. He can get to the rim.
He's got hops. Off the Lakers' turnover here. Late in the fourth quarter, Archie Goodwin gets the pass to John Jenkins. Yet another easy one, putting Portland up 80-58, and a bad game just becomes worse for the Lakers here. Josh Hart receiving 2 back-to-back technical fouls, and ultimately, DZ ejected from the game, 12 points.
Oh, come on, young fella. You got to keep you cool. You're saying for what? That's your second tee. Early summer showers? Wow.
J.J. McDaniels announced as the championship game MVP. He had 17 points and 7 rebounds. And joining us now from the champion Portland Trail Blazers, the team's second-round pick, Gary Trent Jr. Now, you finished with 12 points, 6 of 15 from the field. What was it, though, that made your team's very balanced offensive attack so successful?
Most definitely. We had a great group of guys and an even better coaching staff. You know, since day one, they were harping to us how good we are, what we can do as a team, and everything mixed at the right time. You know, we started early with each other, and everything has been great ever since.
And Gary, you and I talked about you having a chip on your shoulder being a second-round pick. What do you need to work on for the rest of the summer to prepare yourself for training camp?
Most definitely. The thing I need to work on for the rest of the summer is my all-around game. I'm not a finished product and nowhere near where I want to be as a player. So I got to continue to work hard, and everything will take care for itself, hopefully.
Gary, thanks so much for taking the time. Congratulations. Your first ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an NBA trophy, right?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And on Tuesday, the All-NBA Summer League teams were released, with the Lakers' Josh Hart headlining the class as the MVP. Hart averaged 22.5 points a game, and in the semifinal matchup with the Cavs, he dropped 37.
He's been working, Kristen. He's been working.
A double overtime win.
Keep it cool, though, young fella. Keep it cool.
Yeah, a little too much heart, perhaps.
I like that.
All right, I'll cool it. After the break, we're gonna.
And let's see if they can get back in sync with their offense. That's what I'm saying about Miles Bridges, as Bridges is going to be, as we see him explode down the lane.
Bob on the run, express yourself, Mo.
Look at the vertical floor spacer first. This is just too much fun.
Spellman moved his feet well. Raymond, little floater on the baseline. 2 seconds to go. It'll count. Got it! Trent on target. Junior, stunned like his daddy right there. And here's Devon Carter, a little stutter step. Lost the handle. 3-on-1. Ray! Oh, that was sugar! Ray punching it home over the big man. Wham!
You can't come to Thomas and Mack without mentioning Tark. And you talk about coaches. Tark was, I guess he's feeling better.
Yes, he is. I'm not sure the rim is feeling any better.
Nice backdoor, great the backdoor off the baseline.
Man, show him some things. That's under duress of the clock. Close out by Brunson.
And Bender with a big block.
Well, that's a long block sent to the sideline.
Defensive guards, and that's why they're looking for shooting in Seth Curry as well as Nick Stauskas.
Okay.
Cleaning up that mess. I am all in on that.
There's got to be some movement here. We get the screen. Now do we get the game winner? We get the game winner. Yes. That's how you close. That's how you finish. Camachi made a, he challenged with his right hand. Burton moved it over to his, he's a lefty.
14 to shoot. They reset to 14.
Yeah, Theo Pinson, the former Carolina. Oh! He assaulted the rim.
Nobody's got the basketball. Yeah. Finger roll. Josh Adams. Nobody back. Look out! The poster from Devin Robinson. I don't think they matched up that time in transition. What about you?
Devin Robinson over the pride of BYU. Poster!
The Lakers' Josh Hart was named Most Valuable Player of MGM Resorts NBA Summer League Tuesday, headlining the All-NBA Summer League teams. It was an 82-game, 12-day event showcasing all 30 teams for the very first time. Hart is joined by Wendell Carter, Kevin Knox, Colin Sexton, and Christian Wood on the first team, with DeAndre Ayton, Wade Baldwin, Jaren Jackson, Svi, Nakai Luke, and Trey Young making up the second team. So a media panel selected Hart as MVP and voted for the All-Summer League team. So why don't you have a say? 3D, why don't you give me your Moneyball men of the summer?
Well, normally my Moneyball men are normally just guards, but I had to fix the big guys in there. It is Summer League.
They can be money.
All these guys were playing money basketball throughout the Summer League. So, speaking of Josh Hart, very impressed on this list. He's a second-year guy. And throughout the Summer League, Chris, and a few people at home, I was always looking at those guys a little closer than the first-year guys because they know what to expect. What they work on, what they learn from their rookie year. And I think Josh Hart understands making jump shots. That's one of the knocks on him coming out of college, been a 4-year guy out of Villanova. So it lets me know since the season's been over, he's been in the gym working on his jump shot.
Kevin Knox, another as well. And he's a first-year guy. You talk about Josh Hart and the professionalism and confidence he's gained, but this is a guy making a professional debut.
Hey, New York Knicks fans, remember you were booing draft night? Well, take all those boos back.
They also
I know, New York Knicks fans, y'all need to stop doing that and do your homework. This young man can flat out get it done, put the ball on the floor, shoot the three, get to the free throw line, and one of the youngest guys in this draft. Would not be 19 years old till I think August. Are you kidding me? Come into our NBA this way, ready to play. So, once again, New York Knicks fans, take your booze back, go get your popcorn, get your tickets, because this young man's going to put on the show in New York.
He did, though, call me ma'am in an interview. I didn't love that.
He called me sir, too. It went viral.
I didn't love that. Colin Sexton, though, the 8th overall pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers, the guy who challenged LeBron to come back to town and win another championship. What can he do without him in town?
Well, I think the biggest thing is listen to the coaching staff. Right there, hitting the big three-point shot. Jump shot's a little suspect, but the way he shot it with confidence throughout the summer, you get to training camp, being able to pick up defensively full court. I know Ty Lue's going to love that. But at the end of the day, his tenacity and confidence falls right in line with what they need, obviously, with LeBron leaving.
And proved to know how to win as well.
Yes.
How about Wendell Carter Jr.?
Wendell Carter, he may be the most talented guy throughout this whole draft. I know Bagley may have went earlier, but watching him now on both ends of the floor, the way he blocks shots, finishes around the rim with either hand, has three-point range ability, but right there around the basket, you give him the basketball, he's going to score. Now, being at Duke for that 1 year, a lot of these moves and plays you've never seen before because that was system basketball in college. Now in the NBA, you get to Chicago, and they start featuring you and giving you the basketball. Look at that. 15 and 9 and barely touching the basketball. I think those numbers get better being around first-line guys, Levine and Dunn and guys of that nature.
And again, 2.6 blocks a game.
Ooh, defensively, yes, that's going to be huge for Chicago.
How about DeAndre Ayton? Because we only got to see him the first part of the Vegas Summer League, but still dominant inside and out.
Once again, I put him in the same category as Carter. That 1 year in Arizona, you saw the raw ability. You saw he was kind of a throwback big guy, like to be around the basket. Obviously, he has three-point range. But what I saw throughout this Summer League, no, he wants to be down low. He wants to bang. He wants to prove that the big guy is still in town. The big guy not just want to shoot threes like a lot of guys do today.
And averaged a double-double. So the NBA Summer League is essentially a job interview for many young men looking to make NBA teams. But it's also an opportunity to step into a new role for many others, whether it's on an NBA coaching staff or an officiating crew. And for the first time, I was able to call an NBA game as well. One of the highlights, I think, not just in Las Vegas, but in my career and life, was sitting down with Karl Malone and calling the third quarter. Here, check it out. I do want to ask you, Karl, because you are second all-time on the NBA scoring list.
I shot a lot.
LeBron James, that's fair, is 7th currently. He would need about 4 full seasons, around 24, 25 a game, in order to take the top spot. Do you think that he's going to do it, or where do you think that he's going to land ultimately when his career's done?
Well, it's not a matter on if he's going to do it. It's a matter if he want to continue to do it. So there's no doubt in my mind that he can have a record that probably no one ever touched if he decides to stay around. And like I said, I think the world of him. The way he played the game, people don't realize this. He's 6'9", 270.
Yeah.
So when he hit a little bug on the windshield, they go flying. But it's not a doubt in my mind if he chose to stay around. Oh, without a doubt.
Thanks again, mailman. Up next, the highlights continue. A 2-game Tuesday night in the WNBA and a wild ending to one of them. Don't go away.
That's a nasty buzz, bro.
The Atlanta Dream looking for a 5th straight win as they take on the Connecticut Sun in a matchup that could have playoff implications. Chiney Ogwumike selected to her 2nd All-Star game. My girl. Later in the 2nd quarter, Jonquel Jones driving gets the Rolls to go on the runner here. 10 points in the 2nd quarter alone. Connecticut would lead the way 42-35 at the half. Angel McCautry in the 4th, selected to her 5th All-Star game on Tuesday.
Well, that's what Angel does, get buckets.
That would cut their deficit to 1. The shot clock winding down later in the 4th. Jones to Rachel Banham for
Leave it.
Long 3. Connecticut leading the way 74-68, but this time the turnover. McCautry headed the other way, getting past a couple of defenders late in on the break.
Under control, finger roll.
Tiffany Hayes trying to kick it out there. Cautry knocks down the 3. She finished with 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. That would tie things up at 81. But check this out, DZ. Less than 10 on the clock. Tiffany Hayes comes
cookies.
steal here
and
launches it from behind the half-court
Leave
line.
it. We call it a deep, deep, deep money ball.
She beats the buzzer.
Leave it. Yes, look at the follow through from half court people. Every time you're shooting, you must leave it.
18 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals in the 86-83 win. And all 22 All-Stars have been revealed. Elena Deladon of the Washington Mystics and Candace Parker of the LA Sparks will serve as captains and draft the rosters for the 15th All-Star game on Saturday, July 28th. So at the buzzer, our very own DJ Diesel used some of his time in the booth to take a shot at Charles. It was actually a couple of shots.
Barkley sucks, say it. Barkley sucks. Barkley sucks, say it.
Okay, well, he also stepped out of the DJ booth at Major League Baseball's celebrity softball game, and it went as
Come
well
on,
as
big
you would
fella.
expect.
Get a piece of it.
This one should be.
Hey, foul ball. Oh, you pop it out? Come on. And you got a Redskin shirt on and knowing you're a Cowboy fan.
I always say,
that's just...
There's no I in team, but there is one in Shaft in a Pool. For Dennis Scott, I'm Kristen Ludlow.
That was just foolish.
Yeah.